Welcome to a very early Monday morning. It's 4:30 a.m. and today we're going to be heading down to Uxmal, which was once a thriving Mayan city in between 700 and 900 AD. It's about 50 miles south of Merida. You have a couple of options to get there. One is, of course, private taxi. I'm not sure what the private taxi runs to get there. I did check Uber. One way was $90 US, so obviously that's a little bit excessive. You can rent a car here in Merida and drive there yourself. Rental car runs about 37 US to 40 US. There is around a $2 parking fee when you get there. Or you can take a bus, which is the option I'm going to try today, and that runs around 9 or 10 US dollars, and that's round trip, so that's not too bad. There is a bus that leaves at 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. and I don't know what the times are after that. There's a few more that leave after that, but you want to catch one of the early ones because the ruins are only open until 4, I believe it said. And then also, of course, during the day you get more crowded and it gets a lot hotter. So I'm going to catch the 6 a.m. one. We're going to queue the Uber and head down to the bus station. Buenos días. Okay, so made it to the main bus terminal downtown. This is close to the historic downtown of Merida, and it's a really nice bus station, so I just wanted to show you all this. Don't be afraid to come here and catch a bus if you want to go anywhere in the region or out to Cancun or anywhere on the coast from there. We got a lot of restaurants in here, Subway, and the whole place is just laid out really nice. So, ticket counter there. And once you get inside, we have a little food counter over here. Coffee. Gracias. Yeah. So whenever you get to Uxmal, the bus will drop you off just at the end of the entrance to Uxmal, and then it says online it's about a 5-minute walk up. So definitely come on the 6 a.m. bus though, because the weather is just perfect right now. There's a little bit of coolness in the air. It's not hot at all, and so it's going to be perfect for walking around and checking out the ruins. I don't know exactly what the entrance fee is. I think it's somewhere around 20 US, but I'll get that number for you when I go through there. So that bus left Merida at 6, like I mentioned, and we got here at 7:30. And it turns out they don't open until 8, and so by the time you walk up to the entrance, it's about 7:40. So you will have about a 20-minute wait, but it looks like it's going to definitely be worth it, because by the looks of things, we're going to have the whole place to ourselves apparently. So I do recommend the 6 a.m. bus. Okay, so $18.20 is your entrance fee. There's a $2.50 charge if you want to bring in a GoPro or any other kind of camera. It doesn't cost extra if you just use your phone, but anything like a tablet or a GoPro or anything like that is $2.50 extra. There are no drones allowed here. So Uxmal was in its heyday between 700 and 900 AD. I'm not sure exactly when it actually started or when they started to settle here, but it looks like 700 to 900 was its main time that it was up and running, and then sometime around 1400 to 1500 everyone, it seems like they'd kind of moved out. There's not a lot of information why. A lot of it is kind of unclear online, but some people say there was a drought around 1400, and so a lot of people left the area then, but nobody seems to really be completely sure. So this is impressive. It doesn't really, I haven't found anything that says much about this area, but it looks like it's just a massive courtyard. And so since we're right behind the government building, or what was also mentioned as a palace or something, I'm assuming this is just like the main courtyard for that building. All the design up there, that's pretty cool. So this looks like the old ball court, similar to the one in Boca. Chichen Itza also has one of these, except theirs is huge. And I haven't seen one as big as the one in Chichen Itza. Most of them seem to be about this size. So for this game, you would use your elbows, knees, or hips to put a ball through these loops. There was one on each side. That one is gone already. But you could just run through the middle here, and the goal was to make it through there. Check out the designs carved into each one of these rocks that go all the way down. It's on both sides too. Chichen Itza was like that also. They had this one area that had several pillars, and each of the pillars, it probably held up a roof at one time, but was probably 8 or 10 feet high. And some of them was probably 5 or 6 feet high, but and they were all cylinder shaped, but every single one of the blocks on every single one of the pillars had designs carved into it. It was like it wasn't enough just to carve out a cylinder, you also had to put designs in it. So the amount of work that just went into this is incredible. And you just see it everywhere you look. You look up at the top of the building and there's just designs all across the top row of the rocks or all up the sides of the building. It's really impressive how much work they put into this. So we're kind of on top of a hill now, and over here in front of me we have what was called the House of Turtles, and I don't really understand what it was used for, what this building was used for, but apparently turtles were a really important animal to them. And so I thought what was really interesting is the top of the building, they have turtles carved in going all the way down. Pretty interesting design. And then also coming around here, like I said, we're up on top of a hill and you can get a view of the first pyramid that you saw when I first came in and get an idea of how big it is all the way from here. And then of course down there is the ball court where we were, in the courtyard out over there. Not sure if these were residential or something else. Looks like there was several of them at one time just in a row there. On the back side it keeps going. So the place is not real huge. I really took my time and kind of walked around and looked at things, and I've been here about an hour and 20 minutes and we've looped around back to the main pyramid here. But I do have to say it is the most impressive ruins that I've seen in Yucatan or Quintana Roo. And so if you're anywhere near this part of Yucatan, I definitely recommend checking this out. This has been really cool to see, and you can also, part of the route following goes up on top of the ruins, and so you actually get to get a viewpoint from on top of some of those things. You aren't allowed to climb on this, unfortunately, but it's probably a good thing. But a lot of them you can go up on top of. The route just kind of follows that direction. So apparently in between 700 and 900 AD, there was around 15 to 17,000 people here, and some people say up to 25,000 just in this city area. So back in the time that it was really hopping, it was apparently a really big place. So I also did want to mention, whenever you're here, there's plenty of concessions, there's snacks, a small restaurant that I saw, and plenty of water, so you don't have to worry about bringing too much, because you can get about everything you need when you get here. So okay, so a little flaw in my plans that I just found is that although there's a few buses that come here from Merida, there's not a bus that leaves from here to go back to Merida until 3 p.m. So I have a few hours to burn. So I sat at the bus stop, ate a sandwich that I had packed, and then found something across the road. There is a chocolate museum, and it talks about how cocoa and cocoa beans were an important part of the Mayan culture, and has a lot of interesting things. There's a $7 entrance fee. I didn't film any of it, but if you are here and you have a couple hours to burn, it is worth checking out. It's pretty interesting. So I'm going to relax here a little bit at the bus stop, wait for the bus to come by, and I will see all of y'all back in Merida.
One eternity later.
Okay, welcome back to Merida. Got dropped off right here down by the plaza. Ate at this restaurant and ended up getting 4 of these quesadillas and a Coke. This is right close to the plaza, about a block away, and ended up being $7.50, and they were really good. And here's the name of that cafe if you want to check that out sometime. And so now I'll probably just do the Uber and head back to the house. So I'm surprised how many people online really suggested taking the bus to Uxmal. I mean, it was cheaper. It was $9 round trip, so it sounded really good. And it was just fine on the way there, but on the way back, everything kind of went downhill, because there's only one bus back that's scheduled for 3 p.m. And then it turns out it didn't even show up at 3 p.m. It showed up at 4 p.m. instead. And so we wait 3.5 hours, me and a group of people, and then when the bus does show up, it's standing room only. So we end up standing up in an aisle for an hour and a half. So I think now that I've seen that, I think I would suggest just renting a car. It's $37 out of Merida for a day, $2.50 for parking. So it is a little bit more money, but you could be back in Merida. If you left here at 6 a.m., you could be back in Merida by 1:30 p.m. So after seeing that, I kind of changed my mind on that, and I would really suggest renting a car to do that. But anyway, the ruins are definitely worth seeing. I do highly suggest it. It's unfortunate that we don't have any drone footage in this vlog. There's no drone flying in the ruins. That's like a nationwide thing for state parks and archaeological sites. And then also I was going to fly when I got back here to Merida, but it's a little bit later than I expected, so I think I'm just gonna call the Uber, head back to the house. So I guess that pretty much wraps up this vlog, and I will see y'all on the next one. We'll probably be going to either Celestion or Progreso or somewhere like that. I'm not completely sure yet, but either way, I will see y'all on the next one.